Want to learn hand lettering but don't know where to start? I've got you covered. In this video, I'll break down the basic step-by-step guide on how to do hand lettering from the right supplies to mastering letter strokes and styles. Even if you're a total beginner, I promise by the end you will be able to create your own beautiful lettering. So grab your favorite pen and let's dive in. Hi, I'm Rida from Honeydew Journal. Let's start with the most important thing, the right brush pens. You don't need expensive supplies to begin. In fact, there are some amazing affordable brush pens available right here in Pakistan that work perfectly for beginners. These are all my topics and most of them are easily purchasable from the Raz. Now that you have your brush pens ready, follow along with me. Before jumping into full letters, I'm starting with the foundation of hand lettering. The basic up and down strokes. This is where you apply very light pressure while moving your pen upwards, and for the opposite of upstroke, moving downwards with more pressure to create a thick downstroke. A good stroke should be smooth and steady. Don't worry if it's shaky at first, that's totally normal. Just remember you need to master one stroke at a time, do not rush it. This will help you gain better control and consistency in your lettering. I have shown my actual practice journal here for your motivation and a downloadable tracing sheet for practice. Now that we have the basics down, let's take one step further. So for that, let's talk about the building blocks of hand lettering. Every letter sits within a set of imaginary lines. The foundation where all the letters sit is the baseline. X height is how tall the lowercase letters are, like A, E and O. Letters with tall strokes like H, B, L extend above the X height up to the ascender line. And letters with tails like G, Y, P go below the baseline down to the descender line. We can also experiment with these guidelines to develop unique styles. I mean, if we extend the descender line a little lower, we get more elegant classic style. Or if we pull the ascender line a little higher, we get more stylish and graceful letters. And if we double the X height, we get more bubbly and chunky style. I mean, there's no end to being bold and creative in hand lettering. For example, by shifting the baseline up and down slightly, we can get a fun, bouncy lettering effect. I'll be showing that later on, so tag along and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Now that you understand the basic letter structure, let's make your lettering more fun and expressive. Instead of stiff, basic letters, we are going to add some playful tips and tricks to make them more dynamic and stylish. To add a whimsical feel, try dropping the ends of letters slightly below the baseline. Works very well for letters like Y and J. Another fun trick is breaking up the connections between certain strokes. This makes your lettering look more hand-drawn and artistic. One of the easiest way to make your lettering feel more natural is by curving the letters slightly instead of keeping them straight. This gives your text a smooth and flowing feel. Want to add elegance to your lettering? Try making the loops in letters like L, E and Y bigger. The larger the loop, the more decorative your lettering will be. Instead of lifting the pen between letters, try extending your strokes slightly to create smoother flowing connections. It makes word look more soft and cohesive. For decorative touch, try adding wavy strokes at the beginning and end of your words. This works great for adding personality to your lettering. You can also use swirls for a fancy look, but I'd recommend to keep it light and minimal for a modern look. And there you have it. By using these small tricks, you can transform basic lettering into something fun and expressive. Now let's put everything together and create a full stylized word with all of these elements combined. I want all of you to try these on your own. Write a word using these tricks and share it with me in the comment section down below. I want to add a few tips for you. So let's talk about bounce lettering. It is exactly what it sounds like. As I mentioned earlier, you create a fun rhythm by letting some of your letters bounce above and below the baseline instead of keeping them perfectly straight. This is the key to choose which letters to lift and drop slightly while keeping your words readable. For example, letters like O, N, E, and I are great to push higher or lower. Another trick that really transforms your lettering is varying spacings between the letters. Notice how it changes the entire vibe of the word. You can even add extra loops or lengthened strokes to exaggerate that effect. Now that you've seen each trick in action, let's pull it all together. I'm going to write the full A to Z using everything we've learned: curve, bigger loops, wavy strokes, etc. While you watch, grab your pen and try writing along with me. Feel free to pause the video whenever you want to practice each letter. Moving on, let's talk about one of the most overlooked yet important parts of hand lettering: your hand position and body posture. Hold your pen at a slight angle around 45 degrees, works best for most brush pens. This allows the tip to glide smoothly and create those beautiful thick and thin strokes. Instead of moving just your fingers or wrist, try to engage your whole arm, especially for larger letters. This keeps your lines consistent and your wrist relaxed. Now let's move to your body posture. Sit comfortably with your back straight and shoulders relaxed. Don't hunch over the desk, that only creates unnecessary tension. Your elbows should rest lightly on the table or just hover above. Alright, now that we have covered posture and grip, let me show you some fun alternate ways to create beautiful hand lettering, especially if you don't have a brush pen laying around. First up, Faux calligraphy. It's perfect for beginners, starting by writing your word in cursive. Go back and thicken only the downstroke and fill in them. There you have it, a brush lettering effect without a brush pen. Now let's talk about watercolor lettering. Super fun, a little messy, but totally worth it. You'll need a small brush and a watercolors. And finally, Crayola super tips. Yes, these fun markers work great for hand lettering too. The secret is to use the conical tips skillfully. And that wraps up our hand lettering basics. I hope you are feeling inspired and ready to practice your strokes. Remember, the more you practice, the more confident and creative your lettering will get. So grab your brush pens and start creating. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. See you in my next one.